Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm your hostess, Christine McKellar. I'm here with the fabulous romance singer, Gene Ferrari. And on break, we were talking a little bit about the old days in Vegas. And I think our viewers would be interested in, you have a story about one of your first dates here in Vegas and how you got set up?
I just want to make sure that we understand each other. I used to play Cleveland. And I was playing one of the hotels there, and this lovely lady came up to me and said, you know, my father likes the way you sing. He would like to talk to you. So I went to see him, and he said, I understand you want to play Vegas. I said, well, sure, who doesn't? And he told me, he said, well, do this. Go see so-and-so and tell them that I sent you. And I came, I talked to the guy, and the guy said, okay.
Wow.
I don't know what the guy did for a living or anything, but it opened the doors for me, and I used to play Vegas maybe 8-10 weeks a year.
That's interesting. So we're going back to the mob influence.
Well, I mean, once again, I had nothing to do with them, but they were very kind to me. They used to come and drink, and, you know, those guys spend money.
It's the Sicilian Brotherhood.
I guess so. I guess so.
And it could be the Sicilian blood. I haven't seen your show yet. I am going to go March 26th. I really can't wait to see that.
I would love to have you in the audience.
Can't wait. I love the Italian American Club, and I love that whole dinner and a show concept. But I've seen some of your clips, and all of your fans and critics rave about you have this charisma on stage, and you've opened for some pretty famous comedians over the years.
Sure, I was the opening act for Rickles for about 7.5 years. I had most of his dates.
Okay.
And I opened for God Rest Her Soul, Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember an Italian comic that used to play in town with Sergio Franchi.
No,
Let's see if you know. Pasquale Caputo. Pat Cooper.
Pat Cooper?
Sure.
Really?
Sure. He was
Pasquale Caputo.
Pasquale Caputo. He was genuinely a nice man to me.
Oh, that's wonderful. That could have been a BC a little before. I've heard the name, but you're referred to as the voice with a heart.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something, I guess, when you get on stage, you get a microphone, and Engelbert Humperdinck was one of your early mentors.
Andy Anka, in the early 70s, Paul Anka's dad, he booked me. And we were at a nightclub in Buffalo, and he asked Engelbert to come. Engelbert saw the show, and I have to say this to his credit, that he was kind enough to say to me, kid, you come see me, sit backstage, and if you have any questions, I will answer.
Oh, nice.
And so I got all this knowledge for free. So if today I am polished, I owe it to somebody that took the time to do so. If there is, let's say, a good thing about my show, you know, it's okay to be a good singer, of course, but you have to sing to the audience, not at an audience.
Good point.
And I'm very comfortable on that stage.
Yeah, you could see that. And Engelbert's great, isn't he? I mean, he's everybody loves him.
Sure.
But you have your own style, even though you're covering very popular songs.
Yeah, because I don't have hits of my own, so I cover songs. And when you cover a song, it should be covered veridically. If you do a Bon Jovi song, then you gotta have the right backup for that song, so you don't sound like the song was done in the 40s. You sound modern.
Right. So you stay true to the genre.
I would say so, yes.
I was going to ask you this. Today's contemporary artists that are doing, they've brought back that genre, Rod Stewart, Michael Bublé.
Sure.
Who of them do you admire the most? I mean, who do you think helped bring this back?
You know, Rod Stewart is not what you would call that type of a vocalist. Mm-hmm. He's an artist, but nobody can say, oh my God, listen to those notes. But the way he did those songs,
yes,
he made those songs his own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's 1,000 Frank Sinatra wannabes, and God love them. If that's the way they want to make their living, that's fine. Except for one thing, they're not Frank Sinatra. And Rod Stewart took those songs and did them in a quirky little way, and he sold millions of records.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
it's people do cross over.
Absolutely.
Do you see that genre? And again, to me, it's like, you know, the Sinatra days in the 40s. Do you find that it's, and Bublé and Stewart did bring it back up a notch. They brought it back
Sure.
and made a younger generation very aware. The lyrics are great, and the arrangements are wonderful, too. But you say you're the last romantic singer because you feel like that genre is being lost in the...
Oh, it is lost. Listen to today's records. I mean...
It's hard, some of them.
I don't think I can come up with any of the lyrics. And I mean, I have good ears, but in what they talk about, I just... God bless them. They make money, so you cannot fight success, and that's fine.
Right.
I don't get it.
You know, I have to agree with you, and I'm a 70s, 80s kind of girl, but even then, the rock songs that were... My parents hated rock and roll. They listened to Sinatra and everything, but the lyrics told a story.
Sure.
There was always a romance or a broken heart, or like, I know what you're comparing, like the electro music and rap and stuff. It's almost like it's angry or something. You know, as opposed to, you're a romanticist, and I have a romantic heart. So.
I'm not saying that there is anything wrong, but it's all about that beat. Oh, that beat. No treble. I don't know.
Anybody could do that.
Are you going to have a romantic evening on that? I don't think so.
Well, get out and dance and get some exercise.
Well,
right?
That's different. That's different.
Do you have a bucket list?
Yes, I wish that... Of course, I don't fool myself. I'm not saying that I reinvented the wheel, but if we could go back in town and have some hotels, some casinos that would offer this kind of entertainment, where you go and you find people that are well dressed.
Correct.
It is disheartening to walk on stage and see somebody with a pair of shorts and white socks. I don't know. I don't know.
I know, I do, and that's another thing I love about this. And you know, the Shintas, Frankie Shinta, he'll
Sure.
be on my show in 2 weeks. But they're back. They're at the Union, and they're doing a dinner. I love this, a dinner and a show. You're having the real dinner show.
Yeah.
But at the Plaza, the Shintas are having, you know, you see the show, then you have dinner, it's all inclusive.
Talented guys.
But this, again, I think, if you know you're going to have an elegant dinner, then you're probably going to dress more appropriately. And you can be relaxed and for the evening.
Absolutely. And no dirty patter or anything like that, because it doesn't belong.
Or junior cellies and stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm glad you're not into dirty patter. I'm not either.
No.
I mean, the F word anymore. People draw.
It's nothing.
It still shocks me when I hear kids use it. I cringe. But I'm old-fashioned, I guess. So well. So your bucket list, like, could you reinvent yourself? Say you had 10 years left. What would you do?
Well, you know something, I'm pretty comfortable with what I do.
Awesome.
And I will stay and do this until my voice holds up. One thing that I don't want, I don't want to stay too long, that the people that like me one day will say, I remember when he could. That when that time comes, we should leave.
You're like the gambler. You want to know when to hold up and know when to fold up.
Absolutely.
I like that, because then you don't leave that memory of, I'm not going to mention any names, but the cracked, broken voice still trying to sing, and it makes the viewer's heart break. And,
people pay money, they should be entertained, and we should give them the best that we can give them.
And on that note, I personally invite you viewers to call the Italian American Club and buy tickets for March 26th for the dinner show. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be there.
And I hope you'll come.
You can't stop me. My birthday's the next day. Can I bring my sister?
Sure.
Okay, we'll be here.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Everybody, this was The Voice with the Heart, and I thank you so much for being on the show. I'll see you soon. We'll be right back. Don't go away.